won't waste another one. Oh, that darkness, it won't set me back again. Oh, I'm not asleep or awake. I won't let the future escape. Take me back to you. Just shake the ground. Oh, this lightness, it will fill the air around. Oh, I'm not asleep or awake. I won't let the future escape. hearts are overrated. Yeah, if you make one, you will fall. Too much of a temptation. Yeah, there's a comfort in the crawl. Now I've been on my feet too long. I know I'm strong, just looking for some solid ground, so I can start to run. I don't wanna be tired, moving so bad, I don't wanna be tired. Feels like it's my time. I don't need you now. Don't you waste your time. feel like something new. You feel like something. You feel like something new. You feel like something. Don't just stop it. Doing what you do. When I lay back, holding on to you. Ooh, ooh, feel like something new. Yeah, got my senses here on overload. All my body is for you to hold. Ooh, 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 feel like something new. Yeah, and I never thought that you got me wanting. Never thought that ooh, never thought that I'd be saying you feel more like a dream. Yeah, you feel like something new. You feel like something. You feel like something new. You feel like something. I feel like I'm in another galaxy. Take my time in your eternity. Ooh, 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 feel like something new. Yeah, and I never thought that you got me wanting. Never thought that ooh, never thought that I'd be saying you feel more like a dream. Yeah, feel like something. 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 Feel like something.
Cool day throughout the Los Angeles area. The current temperature in Hollywood is 65 degrees and expected high of 68. KLX Radio Time.
Great, hit snooze till it's 8:30. Grab a coffee to help ease my brain. There's no time to play. Climb out the sheets, find the jeans from a previous day. Grab the keys from off the counter. Commute into the city, gonna take another hour. Man, I hate trading time for a way. At least I got a home and a job that pays. Faded from color, reaching a silent wonder how. Saying it'll all be fine while you sit around and waste your time. Faded from color, stuck in the backseat and told to drive.
Circles, study
I left my distractions behind. In the meantime, I'll blindfold my pride and keep hold of my time like it's gold. Fading from color, reaching to find where I wonder how. Saying it all the time, what's you I'm wasting time. Fading from color, stuck in the backseat, told to drive.
I pack my suitcase, headed out the door, I keep my shoes laced. 2,000 miles away from home, a couple dollars in my pocket, never stopped a boy before. I load my bags and hit the road.
Miles past, turning back, found my track, face the fact, she a core one. Never gonna settle for none, stay up every night till I won. Don't want a slow rise now, I'm confident opulence isn't a long ride out. When I look back now, I'm astounded. A quiet boy from old age, but always felt the world was a stage, yeah. I celebrate one last late night, my old life ain't staying.
I pack my suitcase, headed out the door, I keep my shoes laced. 2,000 miles away from home, a couple dollars in my pocket, never stopped a boy before. I load my bags and hit the road.
I'm headed to LA.
Miles, throw it on the dash. Shit, 10,000 hours, can't let them pass. Yeah, well, I was putting time in, you was pulled up wildin'. You always had shit to say, now when I see you, it's silence. Thought I'd have a Grammy by 25. commas after commas next to dollar sign, yeah. To remind myself why I'm living this life. Look at all the late nights, it'll all come in due time, yeah.
Made for the fight, for the pain and the climb. Tied to the life I chose. Stay through the night, another day, not a dime. Race against time. I couldn't just lay by and wonder what I could have made mine. I'm closing on the moment, no one's gonna hold me down.
I pack my suitcase, headed out the door. I keep my shoes laced, 2,000 miles away from home. A couple dollars in my pocket, never stopped the boy before. I load my bags and hit the road.
Good evening and welcome to week 6 here of ESL Challenger League down in sunny South America. My name is Get the Bag Mark, and I am of course here with Apples to bring you another double best of one tonight that we have here on the A stream.
On the A stream, I'm feeling fancy, feeling fly, and I'm excited to be here with you, Marky. This is going to be a good matchup tonight. ODDIK versus the Swingers, and we have 2 maps, and I'm quite excited.
Yeah, we got 2 double best of ones happening here in the South American space. So that's where we go ahead and take it with the Swingers and ODDIK here today. But it's been a pretty busy season that we have gotten into. Like I have said, here in South America, Apples, we're just here in week 6, as you know, we're coming across pretty soon here to where obviously the major spots are going to be selected on April 7th, or you know, those first invites are going to be set out. So we look at how these ESL Challenger League teams are doing, and you know what, ladies and gentlemen, just today we had some shenanigans sort of go down in kind of a web of roster moves. You've had Yadel Amigos disband after last week, and then with the moves of Leo off of this Bestia squad to bring in Timo off, they could not field a roster in today. So Bestia, the second team ranked in ESL Challenger League here in South America, had to withdraw. That is a big hit to this region, and you're going to be missing those Argentinian faces.
Yeah, it's interesting that a couple of teams withdrawing here, not able to kind of field a roster. Obviously, it does give a lot of the other teams here that probably haven't had the best of a win-lose scoreline that they've been wanting to be able to move up towards the top to keep their spot in here, not get regulated from this season. We'll have to see how the rest of the season goes, but unfortunate for these teams, but we'll have to see if they're able to make up some VRS points a little bit later down the line. Yeah, so because that's just kind of the name of the game. You need the points, you need to win, you need to be here. And if you're in these competitions and you're usually like a big top squad and you're like all in these invitationals, you're getting invited to these qualifiers, but you're just not winning in ESL Challenger League, what is going wrong? You need to fix your lineup, you need to fix your roster, you need to figure out what is happening that you're losing to these teams, because sometimes it just comes down to just random pug teams are able to beat it out against some pretty top level teams.
Right. And this is where you want to see that development. If you have to make a change, go ahead and try and take that step, right? I mean, for both ODDIK and Swingers, these are two lineups that have seen into a maybe a phase or two, phasing out of this. I mean, the entire Swingers lineup, right, used to be a part of that hype organization, but obviously bent out of that towards the end, I believe, playing in some CCTs out there. Like I believe at the end of October, they switched into the Swingers lineup. So they have had some pretty good standings out this Swingers lineup, right? Speaking about how they may have seen some different faces in a couple said CCT tournaments. They had two different playoffs berths, both that 3-1 through that like Swiss part Apples. So they've certainly had some pretty good opportunity over there, and even almost met up with, I believe it was ODDIK after they were taken down by Fluxo just deep in the playoffs over there. But you finally get the matchup here, and you finally get to see Case Slots back in the server, who was our young gun player to watch today over from ODDIK.
Yeah, so definitely a player to be watching here on ODDIK. He was benched for a bit, had a little bit of an okay rating. He's replaced Saturia, if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yeah, Saratera. That's a tricky one for me too.
Saratera. Sorry, I apologize. But no, this is a player that I'm really interested in. It feels like ODDIK kind of going through the same kind of motions on figuring out their lineup, figuring out their team, that some of these teams that like left or withdrew haven't been able to get there. ODDIK obviously on the top end of things, going 7-5 right now in the standings, and maybe K-Slox is the answer to that. And that's why we're watching them, this player tonight. He was benched for a bit, right? Then replaced. So maybe just a little bit of a switch was what was needed. We'll have to see how he plays tonight with this squad. But there's a couple of other players that like left ODDIK that were recently benched that they added on. Like Togs used to be on this lineup that joined Pink, that was actually on Bestia recently. But Togs was really, really good on ODDIK. If I remember, he was on ESL Challenger Atlanta, and I remember watching him, and he was an incredible anchor. We'll just have to see how he plays with this squad, this lineup here. But I'm excited. This is a really interesting matchup. The last time these two teams met was during the South America Masters closed qualifier, I think early February, and ODDIK was able to win that out. It was on Ancient Train and Anubis there, and we are not going to be seeing that quite yet. We do have Nuke tonight, Marky. How are you feeling about Nuke?
I'm always a fan, you know me, to see some Nuke into the business here. But
South American Nuke.
When you have the South American map pool apples, that you can always kind of lean into something where I think the, fun puggier maps are always going to seem that much more aggressive, that much more aim centric. It's, where you come to see maybe the new additions of the map pool. You see how long Train lasts in this one. I actually thought we may see a Train out here tonight, but it was sort of between that Dust 2, sort of that ancient middle ground that it was pretty much kind of plucked out by ODDIK a little bit earlier in the veto that I expected, that looks into a Nuke opportunity that I think where it is like, I think we talk about this all the time in other best of one broadcasts, apples, where we know that the equivalency here is a third map. I think that this Nuke gives you probably, we know that you can have two of the same maps in a row here. We have another best of one with an entirely new veto right up after this, but I think this has the authenticity, if I could say the word, of the cleanest veto that really has the feeling of a third map. I think this is a really good look in for Swingers at the beginning of the series.
Absolutely. I mean, I was looking at like their map stats because, you know, they're just very easy to look at it. And I feel like both of the maps that we could have tonight are very equal for both of these squads, but obviously that comes with all of the stats that have other players that were in the mix. Like there's a lot of new players that are on the server tonight for both of these squads that we haven't seen really all together. So it could be a toss-up, could be something in the air. We'll just have to see how everyone kind of formulates their play styles. So we'll have to see. I'm excited. Do you have a prediction here?
I do have some thoughts. I do have some predictions, and I do have an update. We know that the players are dropping into Nuke here just momentarily, Apples. But obviously, we know that this ODDIK lineup has a line to keep, right? You know, we brought up the VRS, right? We brought up the difference in sort of the standings that have just been shaken out today with Yalamigos and Bestia stepping out, right? I think that these opportunities become that much more important for them. Of course, like I said, considering the VRS, where I think it's very interesting to just see where Seru Terra getting replaced, if I will ever get used to saying that, Apples, I really don't know. Because I was friend of the show, right? Me and Cole Exner McHenry were broadcasting, I believe it was Frost and Fire Season 1 with Bestia with Pank that ended up taking first place out of that tournament after he was added onto that Bestia roster just recently. So Pank is definitely, I mean, had a pretty busy beginning to the year, excuse me, and seen a couple of different jerseys, but has seen some success off of it. So, I mean, it's a little bit crazy that, I mean, considering Bestia just had to, I mean, withdraw from Challenger League today. This is, I guess, a part of it that, you know, continues to go on and compete in this Challenger League where, I mean, I was telling you that I was disappointed we didn't get to see Bestia versus Team Solid on stream today. Well, we just replaced it with the matchup with the 5th best team versus the 7th best team. It should be a great one that we have here this afternoon.
Absolutely. This is going to be a good one. I feel like it could come down to the wire, and especially on Nuke, such a util heavy map. It could go crazy. It could be wild. I'm excited that it's like my first time stepping into South American Counter-Strike, like on ESL Challenger, that we're going right into Nuke. Like this is like an infamous map for South American Counter-Strike. So I'm quite excited for this. This is going to be a little bit crazy, and I'm excited for Swingers. I'm excited to see all of their new players up on here, just new additions in, and as well as ODDIK. It's going to be interesting. I love Nuke. Love opping on Nuke.
And one thing that I love as well, oh no, I mean, it's going to be just time to see Desh out here. He was the former Bad News Chickens opper. We love the name and we love the player even more. He was actually pretty dangerous for them considering the reps that, you know, a Bad News Chicken lineup were sort of around the lower part. I'll refer to those CCT Swiss stages again, briefly having some more success here or there. But a player that, you know, we're obviously missing this afternoon that could lead up to a pretty good storyline here for Apples is Ponter, right? A guy that, you know, used to play for ODDIK before bouncing around to one of my favorite momentary teams here in Brazil, Tropa de Taco. And also it was the Swingers that he joined just right after that, right? Where he steps onto another large opportunity. I think you talk about Togs being a pretty notable member of this lineup. Well, so is Ponter for some time.
Yeah. It's sad to see some players come and go. Like I really liked Togs. I really liked what he was adding onto the team. I feel like he was, like I said, a really good anchor, and he was also like really supportive when like his teammates like Nati or Marios would like rotate in to get a retake when they were playing on CT side. He would have it already in order. He would get the util out, and he would kind of let his other like stars of the team shine. And it's kind of interesting that they kind of leave him out. He was I think forecasted to be on it on HLTV, and I got a little bit excited. I was like, oh, maybe we'll see some Togs tonight, but unfortunately no Togs. We're gonna see Pank Case Locks kind of show it all down. But yeah, I feel like this is going to be a really good mid-season matchup for these two teams, just to kind of give them a baseline. All right, we have changed this much. We have done this much as a team. If we're not able to beat this other team that's like only 2 placements away from us, right? What do we do from here? What do we need to change now? And while they have already changed a lot of players, it could just come down to their strats and everything. And going on Nuke, a little bit more of a puggy, it could be easier to have that more shinier, I guess, entry frag player get a little bit more screen time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that where those, I think, calls to the calling, I guess would work out to be are going to, I even had to have a conversation with another Challenger League caster, one,
Ooh.
Tony, why not FES, and who I so happen to label as an expert here with the South American scene, because
Oh,
I
yeah.
believe, him and I had been speaking and passing about how all this craziness with Leo leaving Bestia due to creative
Mhm.
differences from this team, to which, I mean, they formed and looked to have a really good thing going at the beginning of this season, Apples. It's been, quite a wrap, but, then the calling responsibilities go immediately to a guy, Ninja's 22 years old, used to play for that Galleries project. Prior to that was on this ODDIK project for a while as well. We'll have those responsibilities and we'll immediately go up to tap on that on Nuke. I think that, Nuke, while we do kind of serve it up as his like very tactically based map, we have seen like, I think a little bit of a pull towards that T side just with CS in general, making it a little
Yeah.
bit more leeway to have a bit more of a loose calling style. Would you agree?
Yes, a little bit looser and just like mid-rounding, not too, I guess, impertinent for a round to be won. If you're able to get the couple entries, like get the CTs, and you're like, all right, I have all this map control, let's just go here. It's a little bit less like, okay, I'm on Mirage and we don't have this spot here. Like, what do we do now? Like Nuke, you can just be like, all right, let's just go ramp. Very easy to kind of change your calling in half of the time that it would on any other map. So switching on over there, it could be a little bit differently, but we are just waiting for a couple players to join the server here for just a little bit.
Where
We're
are
gonna go
they
to
at?
we're gonna go to a quick break while we wait for them. How about that, Marky?
I would agree with you. Let's send it to a break. We'll be right back with Nuke coming up first.
day's gone. I won't waste another one. Oh, that darkness, it won't set me back again. Oh, I'm not asleep or awake. I won't let the future escape. Take me back to you. Just shake the ground. Oh, this lightness, it will fill the air around. Oh, I'm not asleep or awake. I won't let the future escape. Back to you.
distractions behind. I will be in the meantime.
Yeah. La 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 la. Yeah. Your life hits hard, but I hit right back. I never back down. I keep it on track. It's the same day with no problems. I keep rising from the bottom. Cause when the sun comes up and I look around, I can feel that love, I can hear that sound. They're never gonna hold me down. I'm higher than the ceiling now. And then I need to worry about, cause I got no problems. I know it's gonna be alright. It's getting better every time.
We are now finally back. All players on the server. Swingers starting on CT side. ODDIK going to be taking T side. Knife around in play. And we already see a little bit of early damage. Pan getting a couple of shots on over to the CTs. Really love how Ninjas is here. Oh, what a quick entry.
Yeah, they gotta get on and protect those. Trophy room offline right now. The 30 Knight, they open up into the ramp, but shots up at control, and they're being a little decisive about this because Malby has gotten all the way down with his dualies and is forcing the fight, walking all the way through, but a player left-hand side, Malby actually whipping back on the young gun, wins that fight, Apples, and now A is going to be online, but clipped up from Rainy, down from Secret, they're all over the place right now.
Currently all over the place. Pancake able to get 2 double, all down to Malby. I mean, you still have some dualies here to your leisure if you want to take this fight. Might as well see how much damage you can do to the side of ODDIK, but the bomb is planted and he has to enter in through hut.
Oh my gosh!
What a peek!
Yeah, some of these,
round.
especially from Pank right there at Big Garage, some of those were awfully crispy. And I think in the pregame, we did spend some time speaking about, you know, yada yada, the change in CS2, right? The big Maui Snake post like 2 weeks ago, sort of just like pointing out the fact that everything sort of has became a little bit more T-sided, right? That's not just the effect of the economy, the MR12. You sort of, you know, shifted this way, and you will have sort of a nice little chip on your shoulder starting out the game like this, Apples, and already putting Swingers on notice.
Just as Zeus picked up for the side of Swingers. A nice flash in to A site. Nati going head first in here. Ooh, does spot a CT, but Pank is going to help him out. Nice double. This is so quick. Already bomb getting planted. Nati on lock here, just waiting for an entry in from the CTs. Might as well. Only invested a Zeus into this round. They're going hunting. Everyone's hiding around corners. Not going to be able to get an easy shot here. He's still just waiting with the Zeus. He's just waiting on ramp with the Zeus. He wants to get something easy, something fun.
Keep your hopes up. I might for a moment. Nobody's too far away. Rainy goes down with nothing to show for it, but it's all good. ODDIK, they continue on with perfect pace. Woody is the only man alongside K-Slots that went down back in that pistol round. Apples, we obviously saw him up with the MAC-10 himself because he's trying to find his way to an op IGL pretty early on here. But dude, even if we can acknowledge that, why not run the MAC-10 for about as long as you want here on Nuke? That's up my alley. I can tell you that for free.
Oh, absolutely. I see a lot of teams do that. Oh. Outside smokes. Swingers now finally able to invest into this round. I don't know if they're going to be able to really answer back with how much aggression ODDIK has been doing against them. Nice nade for visibility, but Wood is already in lower. Already here to disrupt the players outside.
Oh? Woody actually does find one down below. And 90 trying to spar with Venabeast right outside is just going to be struck up by this credit card player successfully. So a good 4v4 that Swingers are going to put online, but now you have plenty to worry about. With that contact Woody made, and made a lane for Payne to get down below with him, and now they're about to cause a whole lot of trouble. The Swingers are going to try and get on top of right now.
Oh, a little bit of damage. Player right outside a single, but does get dinked back in response. They even knowledge about the players. 2 players in control, now getting aggressive with it. Dash is able to find one through the smoke. Just a nice little spam. Trying to answer back. A little bit of damage, but Dash is not easy here. The bomb down well here. It's going to be a triple retake from ramp, and 1 player in it.
Oh, Payne, but again,
this is
he's
a
the
very,
first
very
gun out.
close angle.
So far, it's just been an absolute brawl right outside of the ramp, but if Matios has got to put on a clutch early, then it's got to be one of the longest standing members of ODDIK. Malby going to be holding that defuse just on the other side of things. Will ODDIK even be able to get back involved? Matios doesn't get the respect. Swingers, they capitalize on a situation where, honestly, it looks like an uphill fight. ODDIK had all of that locked up through control, and it was a very difficult retake from there on.
Absolutely. They were not able to disrupt the outside players as much as they wanted to this round, but with AK into this box, not going to be into an op quite yet. Want to at least get a little bit more money in the bank before they force into that option. I feel like they a little bit too bomb played. Ooh, wow, what an entry. Vina's gonna grab one. It's kind of forcing ODDIK just to be a little bit slower here.
Yeah, Nighty ripped out this early. I mean, certainly seems like Swingers are sort of putting their emphasis into this round right now. Vinabee's trying to check in with these smokes. Just dealt with the lurk of Woody next to Matios down below in that clutch. Rather, Nighty was before, and Pank gonna try and look their way down towards that lower side again, where ODDIK's head is still up above, thinking of the A site where it was Nighty taken out in that original engagement, but the IGL is going to be tucked here, Ninjas into Mini, waiting to dictate something through a call. No information given over, though, so how are they going to be able to operate off of nothing?
Just going to have to batten down the hatches, wait for the CTs to overpeak here. Taking this very slow, and Molly is just keeping them outside, and a flash, not going to keep them out for too much longer, just playing this really safe, trying to clear their corners. Nice Molly out, spots a player in heaven. Wood gets that kill. So they know how many players are on this site, though. Ninja is able to activate, bomb down, and nice kill, but does get sandwiched between 2. All down to Desh.
Ooh, just right around
here.
that corner, Matios
him.
had to have spot something. I was going to say, that was too perfect, too pitch perfect apples. But Matios with a perfect pass all the way through. 4 kills in that A hit. With that opening kill, I thought Swingers were going to put the foot down and start off their CT side right there. Didn't even get to grow, though. Cut at the root.
Oh, like a plant.
Like a plant.
Like a plant. I like that. That's nice.
What, they said no oxygen, no water, or anything for the Swingers. Though it's pretty damn sunny out here on Nuke, so can't complain.
Ooh, lots of outside push there from the CTs very early. All in Mini wrapped around Nazi, not going to slow down here. Headshot after headshot, and a little bit of team damage, but that doesn't matter. The AK's clearing up.
That was pretty fast. That was pretty quick. It was on that original anti-eco that they just like straight up hit A. And you do see, I mean, kind of typically a lot of these ecos taken outside, distance, pistols, you know, the name of the game. And, you know, that time it kind of shapes up exactly how it should. So off to the expectations right now. I think you are to be expecting a lot from Swingers here who need to get involved early before this becomes too much to handle from ODDIK.
Name of the game is aggression. Kill them before they see you. Taking this a little bit slower. Wanting to make sure that they have everything situated. Knowing Swingers are definitely on a buy this time. Just kind of looking for an entry here. Nati not finding anything quite yet. Good. He's a little bit of information on over, but there is a player over in secret. And nice flash, but just blind your teammate as well. Let's clear out ramp for the time being. Already dropped down lower. There's 2 down and lower. They're trying to entry in here, and Ninjas is able to find one, and everything's cleaned up. It's all down to wood.
Oh my gosh. Most brutal put down that you've seen in this game. I would say even one better than the slaughtering that came down onto the anti-eco before. That is pretty right on top of it. Sort of a bullseye rotation you get all the way through. Swingers can't do much better than that, and that's exactly the answer that I was looking for, Apples.
Absolutely.
Can I just read the message you just sent me? You said you weren't quick?
Yes.
You said you weren't ready for the speed? Welcome to South America, Apples. Enjoy your stay.
I'm like, wow, everything's happening so quickly. What is going on? And I feel like the players must be feeling the same way. A very, very quick trade. Op still in contention, able to find a second one. Not letting anything out of its sights. Matias trying to do something over here in ramp. A nice molly out is not going to hit anyone. Gonna give a little bit of information. Dash is going to drop down, but Rainy here in a protected angle could be able to grab a couple of players. The spray is good for the first. Is anticipating the second, and he finds it.
2 different anchor spots on this map. 2 different 2Ks. Dash outside, Rainy holding down the ramp all alone. Brings beautiful motives back to the Swingers side, and look, back-to-back Apples here. I don't think you can answer quite as boldly, though Woody will try and just thin this line. The Op IGL needs to hold on to the hardware so that the rest of this half can at least be doled through this lane, especially knowing that Dash is online. I would want to keep this up. But it's okay. Okay, I was going to comment on the view model before when we had the Mac 10 up, but
comment on it now.
He can't.
Go ahead.
You know what? He can see both his right and left side. You know, so joke's on us, Apples. Joke's actually on us.
Yeah, you know, he's playing in ESL Challenger League Season 49 South America, and we're not. We're just talking about him. So maybe he does have something right here. This is the longest round we've ever had, and it's because a player has been saving for the entire second half of the round.
Counter-terrorists win.
Kind of insane.
Honestly, look, I'm right there with you. Kind of the turnaround upon that, the way Swingers were able to just absolutely evaporate the lower hit, you know, but how many teams do you see that active in the rotation have 2 players down lower? Either way, they answer that call, and then right after smash out the hope and are pretty satisfied letting ODDIK kind of carry over a clue or 2. This time it is the op, and Swingers have certainly met a pace. Let's see if they can keep it.
The rotates are so quick. There's a 1 flash onto ramp or 1 molly, and they're all the way down lower. He's doing something a little silly with it.
He might try and really pull a fast one here onto the mini players. If there is this hit to come out, I will pull that back, because it looks like ODDIK, rather than the Swingers, have pulled back out of lobby, and you see these smokes come down alongside it. But they have this audio information of the drop from so long ago. Dash Monster can't open the smoke, and Woody's looking for him too.
I think it's interesting that Swingers are not pushing anything right now. They are afraid of whatever the buy is. They're just rotating around. Nice 1-tap from Matios, but does get traded out instantly by Dash Monster. Another as well. Now this A hit has completely fallen down. Just a deagle left. Nazi able to get 2, or at least 1. Not going to be granted much here. Just a little bit of damage to the CT economy, but you can see they are kind of rolling in it at this point.
Oh, man. And then some. I mean, another multi put up like that. And in the fashion of Dash Monster being right where they need to be, on par with those rotations. Looking pretty good, Apples, already, Swingers. Bringing it to a 4-4 pace, and you're already you're finding out what it means to be down here in South America. See exactly the chaos that Woody and Co, they're going to be fine to thrive in this. That's a quick flick that is missed.
First time in a while that we've seen him miss something. Nati getting an entry in through the smoke is insane, but
Oh, that's on
Vena's
the
trying
dash.
to at least do something here. Yeah, that's dash. That's the upper out. High impact player gone, but I love the reposition. Molly's gonna get caught out. Vena's in a very precarious spot. Lots of players looking at him and only able to grant himself 1 kill.
Rainy can try and sound in through 1 frag. That's a round from the locker's position. Can maybe even consider a rotate back up to heaven. You see Ninja's going to be just trying to sneak in right through secret.
Oof.
And it may just require a Woody-like save for Rainy at the moment, who is going to have to get so far. Oh, standing right at this very moment. K-Slots, he takes a very clean fight, Apples, and they're not letting any witnesses out today.
Nah, there's nowhere to hide, nowhere to save in a spot like that. They had all the outside control, couldn't even get on site. I don't even think ramp would have been safe for him at that point. This is fun. This is really fun. I've enjoyed this.
All right, eventually we had
South
to have a
American
moment of
Nuke.
solace, right? Everybody can take a sip of
Someone
water.
take a break.
The music has
Oh my
stopped.
God.
The party floor is just chilling for now. Because, I mean, Nuke has been nothing but. I mean, it has absolutely been just so crazy back and forth with the efforts getting through to get these rounds back. And then ODDIK also has a round of similar gravitas where they literally just win out, hit the site. Those first 2 fights that they win, muscling through door, right? They systematically, I mean, I won't systematically say that Naite got that spam outside. We don't quite know how that went down, but I mean, it doesn't feel like ODDIK lose any way of their motion from getting checked by Swingers very hard 3 rounds in a row. Pretty impressive. And I mean, that's what you want to see for both of these teams. I mean, we can refer to the pregame again, where we spoke about how this Nuke, you know, let's say if this was a 3rd map in a best of 3, I mean, this is exactly where you would want it to go off. And it's already looking like it may give us the entertainment value that it would suggest.
My heart's beating. My heart rate is accelerated. Yeah, Matios and Nati have been incredibly good at getting entries on any point when they have an AK in their hands. And even, I think those were the 2 players that were able to get the Deagle headshots, just those save rounds. So mechanically gifted, but sometimes you just need the whole team on AKs just to really back it up. Desh going for a peek here, just waiting for someone to look up. But it looks like all of A is getting brought down on Pant. Able to get a triple entry onto site. 3 players of the Swingers down in the first 15 seconds of the round.
And this doesn't look like a rotation that would be too terribly difficult to actually sink your teeth into. But when the first look at the front door is slammed in your face, you're going to get right out and hold on to these weapons. We kept speaking about, you know, the economy, how this may get fretted off, where ODDIK just put up a clean round, and as we kind of spoke, it had to break for one lane or the other. It's Swingers that get in, worse for it. That is a guarantee. Now, they're going to be after him right for the moment, or at least I thought the consideration was up there. Sort of a white flag respect given to the last 2 saving members of Swingers.
Pant gonna go out, but, you know, that's all right. You can die to bomb if you have 3 kills, if you won the round for your team.
I mean, he looks insane right now, Pank.
Yeah.
Remember the P250 shots that were put up? I mean, it was a couple of months ago, but when I was referring to his performance during Frost and Fire South America, I don't have the rating right in front of me, but it was a huge reason as to why they played obviously we watched Legacy replace a couple new parts. It was the first look into seeing that roster as well at the beginning of the year, but Pank looked like a very good move for this Bestia squad, and ODDIK is going to be very happy they got their hands on him.
Absolutely. I'd be happy.
9-6 kind of happy.
Yeah. Slowing it down this round. Anti-eco. Don't want to get anything out early. Let's see, I think that's Desh here in secret.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I like this.
It's like an
ODDIK
alligator
haven't
just
really
waiting.
they haven't really been pushing this with AKs. We've seen it more with MAC 10s, but there is someone right above him. K-Stocks able to take him out of the gate. Too zoomed in on the AWP, be able to take that fight responsibly. All of a sudden, the save round the Swingers had. Not going to be
Oh no, a
them
couple
too
of
much.
hit
My
scenes.
God, Malby! Oh my gosh, she just got an entire bag of muffins brought to his doorstep. Not able to connect with anything, but all the information is here. Vid is going to drop. Flash is going to blind him, and he's down.
It seems
That
like he's
is
dropped his haul on the
unfortunate.
way there too. It was great goods for the side of Swingers to bring up. Two really awkward angles that they have to work off them, right? You flip that coin a couple more times and you may see the tails turn, right? It just so awkward there. I really was a fan of Dash all the way down in Secret, right? They could probably even pull up to something like that again. However, you know, credit to ODDIK really putting on the stamp back end of this game. I think they remembered what worked so well for them right at the beginning of the half, which was, you know, checking into lobbies so early. I mean, they rely on Pank to go ahead and take a triple kill. I'm not sure that's going to happen every time, but you know what? You may consider them to just pick up the pace, and that's next. K-Slots with a nice entry. This one gets a little bit more complicated. It's an A split that's attempted. Doesn't work out. 2v4, and Woody and Pank left to pick up the pieces.
No real information except just players on a site. Could be anywhere at this point. Pink just trying to get something over near Vent. Wood just holding the line here outside. Not going to be granted anything. Oh, he does see someone able to drop down before taken out of the round. There's someone right on the other side on B. This is not a safe spot to be. Rady will have to take care of this just on his own. And Pink with only half health. This could be easy. Bit of util information.
Oh, this is such a hard position to
entry
clear.
at the same time. Oh my gosh. Just has to hide. Has had to hide and wait, but the flash is good. The spray's not there. Oh, the trade is though.
Path to A. Path to A right now.
A.
Oh, I was
not real.
I was convinced we had Malby all the way rotated down, but hey man, I wasn't the one that was not convinced this half was over. Still online. It's a 7-5 that the Swingers are trying to bring back, but they will be back after about 3 minutes. We go to halftime.
No problems.
Yes, every day was a war. Yeah, it kinda took a while. When they tell me I should stay, I just jump with a smile. Yeah, it's hard until you notice. Everybody's got their moment. When the sun comes up and I look around, I can feel that love. I can hear the sound.
Listen up. They're never gonna hold me down. I'm higher than the ceiling now. And then I need to worry about. 'Cause I got no problems. I know it's gonna be alright. It's getting better every time. Nobody's gonna kill my vibe. 'Cause I got no problems. 'Cause I got no problems. 'Cause I got no problems. Do you feel a little down? Say it. No problems. Let you in, but you out. Sing it. No problems.
They're never gonna hold me down. I'm higher than the ceiling now. Have none I need to worry about. 'Cause I got no problems.
They're never gonna hold me down. I'm higher than the ceiling now. And then I need to worry about. 'Cause I got no problems. I know it's gonna be alright. It's getting better every time. Nobody's gonna kill my vibe. 'Cause I got no problems.
Right before we tied down that half, it was Swingers that had one more statement to make, a fifth statement entirely, and now they get to walk into this T side ready to pick up the big box.
Big box. Ooh,
The big ticket item.
big ticket item here. It's all quiet. Swingers is trying to set up here. Have one flash on, and it's going to be Desh using it outside. P250 able to spot a player at a nice head.
All
Take it for him in a second. That's a nice way to start it off.
Oh, and it's Woody trying to get a little bit antsy there with the hut drop, but this is music to the ears of Swingers fans everywhere. It almost deja vu to how we opened this thing, but we'll see if Pank has got shots back out outside. It was his P250 that created all the success to begin. K-Slots, he's going to be catching ninjas sleeping in the dust, and he is going to be outright beat on that angle, but still far away is Pank. Not sure exactly when you're going to get in with his touch out of the tap, but with 1/4 left upon this, you can pretty much add that 6 tally and see these 2 last bodies out to save. Swingers, they put themselves on notice. They're back in this nuke.
What do you gain by saving on a pistol round? You do get a pair of dualies and 2 things of armor. Make it a little bit more interesting going into a lost round, and it looks like a tech timeout is going to be taken by ODDIK just to figure out exactly how they're going to be forcing into this MP9 and FAMAS so far. Not much for the other players on the team.
I believe K-Slots had perfect armor there, so he immediately picks up the helmet, goes for a little FAMAS, you know, added up his bank account at the end, and went for the guaranteed play. No, I believe he just bought a helmet, bought a FAMAS, bought a smoke, because he might be an accountant in real life. I mean, we don't really know. He's 19 years old. I would doubt that, but
just
bro's an algebra pro.
Price. Don't Google FAMAS price.
Don't Google FAMAS price.
They like dropped it down. It used to be, isn't it 1950? It's 1950.
I believe so.
Yeah.
That sounds correct. And honestly, they brought it right down for plays like this, right? We know the MP9 to be, you know, right on top of where you want to try and buy back. But Woody with the scout, and this is where you can try and do a little bit of direct damage. But Naite right around this corner. This is a proper procedure. But that Molotov going to be put right out and playing this just like a pro. He's just going to be on top of the rail, though. Still gets out with his head on tap. Ninjas can't say the same.
Incredible move there. Nice flash in, but not going to drop anything onto Panic. A nice 1-2. One more player up top. Dash Monster able to grab one from outside, but Rainy, there's nothing really more to enter in there. They've already dropped down into lower to find another way of entry onto any site. K-Slots has already moved over into secret spots ahead. A little bit of damage onto him. Doesn't want to dance with the devil, dance with the Desh quite yet.
Maybe another line back in. Look, after that first kill Pank just got, give Swingers a gimme. Give them something to hold on to here. Just one little bait. You don't even see the other side of the line. Desh right now, nobody going to be touching all the way through at any of those positions. That's why he takes it into his own hands while Rainy waits so patiently. Tries to clear out into Trophy. Clipped in the back. That's K-Slots that kept in that position. Teased the rotation away, Apples. But this is ODDIK that lights up with everything. A huge force that they get in. You know, before we were really criticizing ODDIK for saving away a couple of those. You want this AK in the next round. You need everything on the side of Swingers. They get no bomb plant. They get no success off of a round that they had all of the right into.
Mm-hmm. Great, well done. And I feel like K-Slots was doing there in secret, able to just keep that rotate away, keeping your teammate away from joining up with the other one. It's very simple, but it's able to work. Timing worked on their side as well, and now ODDIK looking at a 2-round lead. Swingers, they have to buy pistols into this. Rainy gonna have to hero AK, hero rifle this round, and I don't know. We'll have to see if they're able to get anything aggressive here. ODDIK has been shutting them down like no one's business. smoke, and Pank's gonna get a little bit close here over in ramp. Here up against 3 Tech 9s could be a little bit scary, a little bit dangerous, but with a Galil, could be a little bit interesting.
Maybe too interesting for Swingers consideration here. Pank has been such a problem so far. Sees Malby slinking over within that. Maybe an audio cue given over because the real fight outside, it's just being melted. Woody holding on to Mouse 1. He's got 2. Pank with 2 of his own and gonna hold down the entire side until Desh comes alive with 1 kill at the end. Let's see if Swingers got a 1v4 involved in things. I think we're done counting on the miracles now, though.
Does have the bomb if he's able to clear out under. There's 2 players here. Mattios and Wood, they're out for blood, able to spot ahead, but another peek in. Pank's gonna help out. It's a AK picked up, another one for the side of ODDIK.
And we'll see what type of ground you're able to put both feet on. When it's Glocks, when it's something that has to come back for it. It was ODDIK that I feel like wasn't really even giving up any feeling of semblance on that A side. Whenever they would hit it, they could certainly get a very good look through. Swingers, are they going to be able to take full front of a round like this, Apples, where it's so dang hard to even get started?
Oh, so dang hard, and even a nade is going to make you stop in your tracks. Wood able to spot a player here. Not going to land any shots quite yet, but on the other side of the map, Dash is able to clear one out. You know, Deagle buys on down to 2K. They're always worth it, right?
That's what the consideration is, right? I'll get mine. I'll get my 1. I remember just recently at Pro League, there was a conversation about that very concept. You gotta go ahead and get your 1. Pank just rips off Malby's head, decapitates the man. I'm not sure we're allowed to show that on stream.
Oh my gosh. Just bloody victory, one after the other. Rainy and Ninjas looking to just make their way on. Rainy does have a picked up M4, but against Pank in this AK, this is just going to be a spray down. Oh, okay, a trade. Case-Lock's there to take it down. The AKs are in the hands of ODDIK. They find double digits, and it's just looking like business as usual. The 6 rounds that Swingers got over on their CT side, or 5 rather, 1 on T side, seem like a thing of the past so far, but they are able to fight into this one. AKs could change sides, but so far hasn't worked out in their favor.
I mean, Pank has been absolutely cooking ever since he's gotten on this ODDIK squad. It's been really ridiculous. And, you know, try this one on for size, Apples, because I can't. In their double best of 1, they had against Game Hunters, he had a pretty good rating out of the second game. You know, he had 21 kills, 14 deaths, 1.41 rating he had. But he went 13-1 on map 1. He only died 1 time. And you know what? His ratings only like stay high on here. Like, he has had a really ridiculous turnout ever since he's gotten to ODDIK. Been a very nice move up, and I really think that it goes back to what we were talking about. It's the balance of 2 aggressive riflers, right? I know that after this in the North American space, there's been a team that's been trying to figure this out. They're going to be on the B stream right after this. NRG, right? I mean, they have George in a very aggressive force, right? They have Hext right alongside him, and it's really just trying to figure out that back end, right? Trying to replace that anchor. They did that for Breeze into Bro, and that's where you see this back end come through with K-Slots getting back added to the mix. Got to find who that second rifler is. Got to find where you can get Pank on to talk, because it's all looking good, and they're not going to waste any time. Swingers, they want to figure this thing out right now, and it's through Venabeast. But Ninjas, he's just chased down to, and ODDIK, they're right around the corner from charging, a real problem.
Yeah, great. Another kill from Nazi, just to thin the herd that's on the site right now. But honestly, at this point, looks like they're just backing away. Nazi looking for something easy. A nice flash in, but he dropped down at 19 health. No kill granted for ODDIK. This is the explosiveness that you need to be able to take the site here in South American Challengers. Pank able to at least grant himself 1, but drop down to 12. I feel like he's going to get hunted here if he's not careful.
I was cheering for that first fight to come out a little bit more clear. We haven't had a whole lot of clutches to really kind of base off. If there's one thing to pull out of the rounds that we've seen on Nuke so far, it's the absence of opportunities like that, which just honestly praises the team play that you've seen so far. And, you know, that's where Swingers, they dig back deep to. Honestly, similarly to where you saw them come back so aggressively on the CT side in that first half.
Yep. Blind them, shoot the heads, get the sight. Easy peasy. ODDIK always saves. I heard you smack your lips a little bit.
I didn't know you were an IGL. I simply.
Damn, thank you. I just started actually. Oh, very quick outside smokes. Nati not going to be able to visually see anyone here. It does have a nade from heaven just to clear it out. Nothing for him to help him. He's able to pick one up. Swingers are being very at this, just sitting at red, making them uneasy. Well, Venabeast is already down lower. This Case Locks is here.
Because it's a bit more of sort of an expanded default here to just get a little bit more map control to maybe see in and check the play if you want to wrap towards mini or get a little bit of space out for the outside wrap that you're checking in on right now. And you do get that little look. And Venabeast, he's going to be put down to half health, but this was the real estate we talked about to make a mini play possible. And that's what gets this A play online so clean. It should be Swingers about to get the bomb down, and they didn't even have to get the kills. They had the whole site right here. ODDIK, they push far and try and figure things out where they are just dealt to their own devices.
The timing there, Wood. He's looking into mini. Could be able to get an easy one. Vena on low health. You can see Desh Monsters coming through J-Hall right now. Yeah. Nope.
Nope.
Nothing given. Except for an op.
Here you go, Desh. A little bit of a freebie there. And they're starting to actually not only kind of undercut exactly what start ODDIK were getting on, they've completely flattened it. So ODDIK are going to have to pick up where they left off in the previous force. Just go ahead and do it again. It's that easy, right?
And easy peasy.
IGL
once, it can definitely happen again.
No lobby crunch play, though. They'll go a little bit further than that. They check outside, where that's not a bad look at all. They'll get 2 fights to take.
Oh, I like this from Pank. They have not been utilizing this position quite yet, and he's able to grant himself 1. Can just fall back from that fight.
Wait a minute. It had to be audible by Woody into this corner, but the 5-7 is so deadly. They're checking up above. Woody gets almost a second there onto Rainy, but it's a USP, a couple more of these straggling pistols up. It's the armor that's the real concern here for ODDIK. So Swingers, a member down, they're really going to have to bring it through. Oh, but another 5-7 here.
Oh. Case Locks entering into that kind of blindly, not expecting all those players still trying to enter into ramp. He's going to chop down 1 player from ODDIK, and I feel like Swingers, even though they have the weapon advantage, they have a little bit of map, they're still playing so frightened against ODDIK. They're taking
they're terrified.
Slow. They are terrified.
And that's what could give them an opportunity here for the USP.
Things. Yep.
What are the odds you walk out here and you don't check this Mustang? Because you're so concerned, right? Smoke goes down. That's where you're expecting this to go. Oh, they're going to have to be so thorough right now, but it doesn't take that long. And the rotation up above, Paint goes down. All you got to do is keep away. No chance down the vent. No chance down the vent.
None.
And he's gone down to Naite, plugs the hole. 11 rounds for ODDIK on the force.
The incredible things that they can just do with just some pistols. Like, who would be sitting there with a USP? Like, if you have had this much of a dominant map control, dominant plays, like, they're so terrified of wherever else is on the site, they're not looking up there. Just like you said, they're not looking there. They're looking towards heaven. They're trying Africa. They're trying to clear out Asia. Every place else on the map, they're like, no, someone would be sitting up there with an M4, not a USP.
Ooh.
No, they are. And that's an entry shot. That is an op taken down. What a Woody just to start this round off.
Gonna be hard to pull back the pace here, right? I mean, considering you just dealt with an eco round, you played a member up that entire time. Now you get the guns, you get to play a member up. That easy for ODDIK in round 20. At least that's the consideration right at the start. The rest of Swingers, they reconsider exactly what's to play through right into ramp. If the smoke is declared, they'll get the unwelcoming arms of Woody. Just for the moment, he comes to back in, look towards lockers. Try and catch Vinny going.
They're still playing this so slowly against ODDIK. Trying to wrap around them, trying to be quiet about everything, but ODDIK have hands on every spot of the map. They're not over-peaking this. They are going to be able to grant themselves down into secret. But you can see there's already a player here, and it's Pink. Of course, Pink is here. Some information gathered. They're not going to be able to drop down unless Woody gets taken out by Swingers here. This is a line of sight that's going to be hard.
Ramp. But it's a missed shot.
That's a missed shot.
Do you fear more the time here? Do you fear the engagement? It's Pank that can now separate him right now. Has to duck in between from Clock. This is Pank that has to step up with his sickest highlight of the game. Reloads, gets that as a second kill and almost a third, but enough time that is bought for Night to just swipe the card. That's 12 rounds that's dealt in for less than credit for ODDIK.
Every time that a slight mistake has happened for the side of ODDIK, they are able to pick it up together as a team. They're not panicking there. Pink is just sitting there at Clock, taking his time, reloading, hiding away from the T's, taking the time away from them so they feel a little bit more rushed. They're not checking their corners. They're not listening to the people behind them that could be right in control, about to take them down. It's just so well played from them right now.
We talked about how both of these teams, right, in their statistics, honestly, in the evidence that we've seen in this game, are both pretty high-level Nuke teams, and we know that ODDIK is maybe just a little bit better, right? These last two rounds are evidence is so, swifting the game to their side and just putting that anchor down where the weight is necessary. It's Night that goes to hunt, doesn't see anything, getting too curious out of these smokes, but do we know there's one body right on the other side of that, up towards A right now? Is this the final hit? Swingers, they're looking like they're about to extend this thing maybe a little bit further. 2 huge entries.
Yeah, I was worried for Desh there, just alone over near red with all the util for the team, but they make the entries count. This A site's basically locked down. Pancakes have to do a little bit of something over towards heaven if they want any enter. It's back onto the site, but everyone is here, and a smoke is going to lock it out just for the time being.
Of course, Pank wants to go for it. Of course he does, but let alone the patience for another time. I think that'll be good, though. 4 players out of it. Even after the brief look that you did get in through, impressive stuff by Swingers. Just to be able to... It kind of seems like both sides have had reset rounds. Ones where they're kind of able to stand back up just off of A-pops, and here they're standing on both feet.
Would you prefer to stand on both feet? Or 1 foot, like a flamingo?
What? Flamingos have 2 feet, right?
Yeah, but
please tell me.
Yeah, flamingos have 2 feet, but they like do the thing where they like fold one up most of the time.
So then they're stronger when they stand on 2 feet. Like the Swingers have now. They'll be stronger with the 5. They just got that down with the Tech 9s. It's funny how that works out.
Yeah, I was like, okay, you're going into this last possible round just with Tech 9s, and it's working for you so far. K-Slox with a nice entry does give himself a little bit of damage, but still able to take care of that 1 enter player. That's Desh Monster out of it. Oh, wow, what a timing miss.
that's the op discovered, knowing that it's going to be sort of out of the conversation for what's a quick rotation back towards this upper hit. It's sort of stuck down below and needs to just shoot right up at the vent right now. But Beast and the rest of the motion out here for the Swingers have not given up on this one check. Pank stays on point. The rest of ODDIK, they know that they're sharp even on their individual base, and it's their captain that wants to put the exclamation point on this. A hint into the second player as well. There was a foot that burned. So ODDIK, they have information in the 5 versus 3, and Pank, he's taking a guaranteed fight. They know if they want to split down below, that already failed. There's no time for it, and Naite just welcomes him in to the A site. Matios goes next. Apples, it is a frightening shutdown on this upper bomb site, and ODDIK, they just say goodnight to Nuke. 13-9 victory.
Yeah, interesting from Swingers that last round. They went to go challenge the op. They were like, all right, we can take care of Woody. Let's go down. Let's go down secret. They knew that that player was there, and they were down a player because of that. And just from that, there was no enter into ramp. They were not able to at least challenge that ramp player. It just felt like a lot of lacking firepower compared to how much ODDIK was showing on their CT side during that entire game, during that entire last 5 rounds. Even the Tech 9 round that they were able to get just to push them just a little bit closer to overtime, it still fell a little flat because right after that, ODDIK just, they were able to run it down. They were able to keep their cool. They weren't getting overly tilted, and they were able to finish it out 13-9.
Yeah, kind of a best of one where honestly you get to see notes in for about a couple of good notes, as much as you would like to see, kind of in the basis of 24 rounds, right? It's moments where the Swingers, they get to go ahead and show why they're the quality squad, but then ODDIK gets to go ahead and put an entire another basis onto that class, right? And show exactly why maybe it's iron towards that side. But I'll leave you with this before we go to the halftime. I'll leave you, Apples, and our audience, right? We talked about in our vetoes how there were a couple of these maps that could have went, one way, could have seen this pop out at the end of the vetoes, but before we, get down to it, right? I think this could go to an ancient before. I think it could go to a train. That could be very possible. And I think you just saw that, 2 quality teams like this can definitely play right into those strengths and give us an entertaining series on that notion. But we gotta check back in with our man Clay Slots out here, who honestly was operating on a pretty fine game there in the last round, finds that opening kill towards door. But we talked about the yin yang approach that, many rifling duos have. His yang went absolutely insane. Pank took all of the spotlight, away from this man.
Absolutely. A lot of it, but I feel like K-Slox were able to get a couple of the kills that would thin the herd over on the Swinger side a lot of the time. So it's going to be interesting to see how he's able to kind of activate in the next game, the next map that we have coming up in just a little bit. I want to see more for him, but honestly, if Pank's got to have a fire game, let him have a fire game. If he's able to shut it down before we get to that 24 round mark.
100%. Keep that man out of his cage. And honestly, to find out where you're going to be taking that step right out of it, we'll need a moment to figure it out. We have a whole nother veto. We have a whole nother best of one to serve up to you between Swingers and ODDIK right now. So wait about 10 minutes time. We'll have that entertainment back. So don't go very far.
I pack my suitcase, headed out the door. I keep my shoes laced. 2,000 miles away from home. A couple dollars in my pocket, never stopped the boy before. I load my bags and hit the road.
Miles past, turning back, found my track, face the fact, she a cold one. Never gonna settle for none. Stay up every night till I won. Don't want a slow rise now. I'm confident opulence isn't a long ride out. When I look back now, I'm astounded. A quiet boy from old age, but always felt the world was a stage, yeah. I celebrate one last late night. My old life ain't staying.
I pack my suitcase, headed out the door. I keep my shoes laced. 2,000 miles away from home. A couple dollars in my pocket, never stopped the boy before. I load my bags and hit the road.
I'm headed to LA.
Couple thousand miles, throw it on the dash. Shit, the 10,000 hours, can't let them pass. Yeah, well, I was putting time in, you was pulled up wildin'. You always had shit to say, now when I see you, it's silence. Thought I'd have a Grammy by 25. Commas after commas next to dollar sign, yeah. Remind myself why I'm living this life. Look at all the late nights, it'll all come in due time, yeah.
Made for the fight, for the pain and the climb. Tied to the life I chose. Stay through the night, another day, not a dime. Race against time. I couldn't just lay by and wonder what I could have made mine. I'm closing on the moment, no one's gonna hold me down.
I pack my suitcase, headed out the door. I keep my shoes laced. 2,000 miles away from home. A couple dollars in my pocket, never stopped the boy before. I load my bags and hit the road.
I'm bulletproof, don't ever lose. Put the evil in the devil and I'm let it loose. I'm an earthquake, make your bones shake. There's no question I'm the king, I always dominate. A force to be reckoned with, better remember it. Look at what I can do, walking all over you. Incredible, it's criminal. I never lose, I'm bulletproof.
Think you've seen it all? With Faceit Watch's Point of View Selector, you can experience the game from any pro's perspective. Use the multi-view feature and customize the stream with up to 4 angles. Control what points you see while earning rewards. Drops are activated and lucky winners will receive Faceit points. And if you ever miss a match, VODs are now available. Get instant access to demos with multiple POVs and commentary. Watch it, control it, Faceit.
Damn, guys, we almost had this.
Thank God it's over.
Bored of endless matchmaking? Take your first step towards ECL, experiencing real strategies against teams of your skill. Learn more at fce.gg/ECL.
The end of that nuke was a bloodbath, but it was cleaned up by the colors of ODDIK very, very convincingly. We gave Pink an MVP, and we gave the whole map up to ODDIK in the end, just like we said. We got another roll of the dice. We got a reset best of one here, Apples. We've got a whole nother contest to go.
A whole another map, and it is going to be on Dust 2. Newly added. I say newly when it's been like a year. It still feels new in the map pool to me. And I feel like it's become a favorite for a lot of tier 1 teams, tier 2 and tier 3. So this is not a surprise. And I think looking at the stats, it's the same kind of thing that we saw for Nuke. It's like both of these teams have kind of fair chances on this. It feels like 55%, 45, like kind of equal there. So this is a great map to go into, kind of reset your mental. You played well on the first one, Swingers, but are you going to be able to do it again here on Dust 2 again?
Yeah, I really am right there with you, and it is sort of a similar storyline, and especially considering that this may be one of the better kind of lean-ins towards the Swinger side, right? I think right before we went to the break, we, I think we mentioned a little bit of Ancient. I think we mentioned it could go towards maybe the side of, something a little bit more similar, maybe Mirage or so. But you see this Dust 2 out here. And honestly, this could be a pick by the Swingers some days. It looks good for them.
Absolutely. It does look good. And I feel like everything that they showed us in the first couple half of Nuke, it shows a lot of promise. They were able to really answer back on a lot of things that ODDIK was throwing at them, just not able to kind of close it out. But like their pistol rounds were really incredible. Desh was able to do a lot on their side, but just not enough to kind of close it out. Dust 2 kind of comes into that gambling part of a okay, is it CT side? Are you playing on just spawns, or are you playing like how you're playing? Are you going to be going with your spawns for T side, or are you just playing how you want your strats to go? So I feel like a lot of teams are split on that, but we'll have to see how South America feels and how Swingers feel if they are starting on T side. If they're like, all right, we're all over on long, let's just throw all of our flashes there and just get all the picks that we need. It's not the same kind of aggressiveness, pugginess that you see on Nuke, but it's a different kind. Because you're kind of going by the skin of your teeth, by the wind in your sails on how you want to play the round.
Yeah, and honestly, I still feel that after this first map, I think that, in consideration, I think Dust 2 is one of my favorite deciders here, right? We can sort of lean into the cliche. We know that these best of ones are, vetoing into what exactly would be a decider of a third map. But, I mean, this is where you can absolutely check the tempo of a series, see where the energy is at for both lineups, and like just as you mentioned, check where the wind is still flowing, and it likely is still going to be towards this ODDIK side, where, I mean, you didn't see anybody from the Swingers point of view put up, quite a performance like Pank. I think Besh was in there, had some pretty nice moments. I think Vinna was pretty consistent outside, but you're going to need to see a full step up that level from those rifles to actually manage into seeing into Pank's territory, because it sort of seems like nobody could touch him on that nuke. Just my opinion,
Oh
though.
my gosh. No, it felt like every time that he was like, all right, I'm going here, he will get 2 or 3 kills, and especially on their T side, was just able to kind of dismantle a lot that Swingers was trying to just do on A site defensively. It just felt like his head was on a swivel. He was able to get the kills, the headshots just so quickly, and maybe a couple of his teammates would get traded out, but he was able to survive for a lot of those rounds. The bomb was planted and the round was won, and that's something that you need on your team. You need someone who's able to survive, bomb plant, get the round won, and ODDIK definitely have that on their side. So we'll have to see if it's a little bit different here on Dust 2. Obviously, a very different map, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting. We'll have to see who starts off straight out the gate. Obviously, it did look a little bit more towards the side of Swingers once we started Nuke. Could go differently here.
A map that is completely reliant on the energy. One that can bend, break both ways. This is Dust 2, and in the most exciting of fashions, we're down here in the South American region where we know things can get chaotic, and perfect stage for us. It's take a step up, see if Tank is going to break the leg he did on that nuke. It's very graceful going, but right here it's the Julies that so gracefully started us off or cut off by the P250 of Malby of all players. Down below, Apples have gotten the situation back to a one-man advantage.
Incredibly well done. Just very easy, simple headshots here. Swinger is going to take this opportunity just to stock up long. Only Nati really here to defend, but USP in hand could get a little dangerous. But when there's 3 players shooting at you, could spell something differently. A nice smoke over, a flash, not going to connect. A little bit of damage. Call for rotates are happening, and Swingers are running onto this site. Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
That's a great nade.
That's a huge nade.
You need something like that. I thought Woody was trying to play in for a flash. There's all the support gone. You know exactly where Woody is. He was near this short position. The captain is going to need to step up for a clutch. Trying to approach this site. Rainy, second highest player out of that nuke, is going to be putting the hopes out for ODDIK. So Swingers, they step in and just line the field with 3 frags out of Malby's P250, giving his best Pank impression early.
Oh, yeah, doing incredibly well. I think he didn't have too much of a surprising first game. I don't think we really saw him get too much. So have him off on the right foot. It's great for him, able to get an AK on their side as well. And it looks like ODDIK, they're forcing into this. It's an ODDIK force. Nice nade. A little bit. Oh, that's actually a huge bit of damage. 5-7 able to kind of do a bit more, but not going to connect. Malby, nice entry on. Lots of damage on the T side, and it looks like the scouts trying to do something, but they're just getting run down. ODDIK are not grouping up.
Godspeed, going for plays through the smoke like that. Naite is separated from his scout. Hey, speak of the devil, he got one more up into play in the hands of the rather low Malby, with a couple of ODDIK players around Apples. They're still up with this force, but not the same gravitas as the force before on Nuke. They were 2 for 2 in that facet, and are seemingly out of this round. I don't mean to... Yeah, get the scout out of there. We're worried about them saving that over. Actually, we are. They have 2 pistols. I'm trying to, like, be mean, but they probably would like to get that back if they could.
Yeah, honestly, great start for Malby here. Hank looking to do a little bit of damage, just hiding in long doors. I think they're aware of this fact, so they're not going quite into this spot. Desh looking a little hungry, just right by him. But yeah, I want to talk a little bit about Malby. Already a triple kill for the first round, a nice entry on the second, and just looking so good. Already 4-0. I mean, so already, but it's round 3. But last game, he went 6-15. So already off on a better start. Already looking a lot better with his team, and Swingers now forcing ODDIK into another force. They have to win this one, or their economy is dead in the toilet.
Pank all the way up so far. Doesn't quite hear a lot happening towards these long doors. knowing that this push may be up to be timed here, has to make a decision soon as to where he wants to go. Woody gets Molotovs out of lower. Now knowing that he can't get peeked from lower, Pank is going to stay right here and go for this fight. Can't successfully win it. And now long range, it's Malby, who we just highlighted, is going to step up, but it is just watching Rainy and the rest of the swingers do what they do best, which is just go ahead, aggressively get these peaks down, wide swing in it. You know the name of the game, Apples.
Yeah, Nati picked up an AK, though. That's a pretty good save. Has armor and a smoke as well.
Is he going to get cheeky here on the cross? Who do we think we are, Naite? Oh my god, apparently we're Nico! Yeah, right! I'll shut my mouth. You can gas the rest of the round, that's fine.
How does it feel being wrong, Marky?
It feels so good. It feels so good to be wrong. I'll take more of that any day.
Yeah. Obviously, Swinger's not gonna want to peek any more of this, not wanting another headshot taken away. They're just letting him keep that AK. He showed his dominance. And I was wrong last round. Looks like they are going to be able to buy into that. They did buy down to 2K with that save from that second round. So they have rifles in, and Woody has an op. This could be a difference maker. We didn't also have Desh Monster on the op on the other side as well. Who's going to get this pick first? I'm not going to be peeking in through Suicide. Just a little bit of a sight line. Just a little bit you need here. They're both looking. Both wanting to take it down the other. Oh, I like this boost as well. Oh, and the shot's good for Woody.
The saved gun. How would you have thought it to lead to an opening kill? That's exactly how you described it. Save gun enters the AWP to be affordable. And now you see the ODDIK have their first opening kill of the game. But now they got to find a way to tread water from here, knowing that swingers are going to be quite rich in the utility department. It's Woody that keeps tabs on middle. He sees for a sight line, another flick down. This time he goes and puts the hammer on the floor. 2 kills for Woody so far.
Benabi is just trying to enter in here with this picked up AWP. Is able to answer back. Malby as well. And they have so quickly leveled the playing field. Now 3v3. They know how close Woody is to this B site, though. A smoke is going to keep swingers away from the site for just a little bit. Now they're smoking to knock down the CTs, and they're just playing this very smartly, very slowly.
P-Slot just sneaks in. That should be illegal. Charge him a ticket for it. Woody's got another. But just coming to pass, at the booth, it's Malby. We put pressure on his back to see if he can lift it up. But those weights are hitting the floor right now as the first round hits the board for ODDIK.
Sometimes you just need to drop an op to Woody, and it looks like they picked up a second one. We're double opping on Des 2.
Round 5, by the way.
Swingers are still able to invest into this. An op is going to go back into the hand of Des Monster. Is that the right investment? The rest of the team on Galil's 1 AK to their name.
Little nade smoke action.
Ooh.
Doesn't mask it so far. It's Naite that has confirmation on somebody lurking where they shouldn't. K-Slot's getting info up above. Where is this op holding on to? It's just going to be in this A side. Rather with Naite to back this up in middle. Woody holds on to long doors. Can check the top of that smoke. Can't find anybody sneaking by. That's tech right there, ladies and gentlemen. He just saw him. He just saw a sliver of that player.
He saw him. Yeah, they're going up cat. He's going to find it. Oh, he scopes out just in time. He's able to see a player's shot. Not going to be connecting. Could maybe find someone else's head, but the shots aren't connecting for Nati.
They get that contact in. They're not going to expect the op on this A side. Why would they expect 2 ops this early in the game? But now it's going to have to punish Woody. He's going to be nailing one from those doors. Either way, they're going to be on notice now. They don't want to get dropped from the op, but look at the way they try and line across. They barely squeak by.
Oh my god. Little bit of a head found. Sees the other, and honestly, the bomb's going to be able to get planted. Just plant the bomb. Force ODDIK into this fight. Matio's coming up from
Oh, 2
CT.
dinks!
Lots of damage. 2 dings. Vinabeast able to answer back. Take care of that player, and that is a devastating blow to ODDIK.
But they're not out of it yet. It's so much confirmed damage. Your shoulder checked out by that scope, and Pank has gone back. They're trying to chase this thing. They were even further into the exits than you thought was originally suggested. But if you thought Woody was back-to-back with this player trying for the late Hail Mary, then you've forgotten how much value this AWP has. That's why Woody's going to hold on to this one even further than the grave.
Honestly, it's so comical. See,
I mean, even starting at middle, right? I mean, Matios was close to like killing 3 guys.
Yeah.
They're going to watch that back, and I mean, you can only laugh at a situation like that, but the
Crouch, look at the ground. What are you doing? It worked.
I'm right there with you. Oh, yeah. You got to very, very hardly find that line, right? You know, you hate when there's that ramp player there. You're trying to crouch over from the op. You just get spammed down by some impatient rifler making the most of a bad situation for you. Either way, this is a bad situation for ODDIK. They have a couple of pistols, 1 AWP with a cape on the back. They're going to need a hero right now.
We're going to need an ODDIK 5-7 round to start this off. That's a triple view of running on over to B. Nazi's going to take advantage of this early aggression over towards long. That's a great start. Just, bring the op back on over to Woody. I'm going to go pick up this AK.
Saved over that AK the first time, resulted in an opening kill. That's our first ingredient we needed. All Woody had to do was be patient. And now, I mean, seemingly going to be on his own investigation. That is a brutal nade that is brought right into the waiting arms of the opposite IGL. And now Woody wants to ruin all of those ideas. It's these shots that win rounds. Woody and his co, they've had to hit them. They've been so difficult swingers. They've had all the ideas so far to have the success. So now you're on to test.
Oh, so many players there. All over, and the smoke is able to find it to push them back. Not too much damage. Could be able to find another one, but Rainy with a 2K. 5-7's coming up from CT is going to answer back. Now all down to Dash, AWP, and not a shot, but a second one found.
And now what do you even think? We were so focused on Woody because he was burning. He was taking so much attention. It was all a ruse. They even fooled our observer. Those 5-7s, they snook on by. But right now, it's K-Slots that isn't going to be letting a thing sneak away from him. That should have been online, but I think that shot to warning will do just enough. It's ODDIK that get their second round through similar circumstances. They had to pull up and shoot on that eco the first time. They do it again. They get their second on Dust 2. But how long on Dust 2, Apples, can you win playing with the 5-7s? Not for very long.
They're not going to need 5-7s next round.
Oh, no. Do swingers get themselves some pistols? Where are they going? They may be in the same depths. I'll say this, though. If you can win a round on 5-7s, then I know a B-Pop can work with those Tech 9s. Even if we get that desperate, which it doesn't look like we are. Dash hasn't found a cross just yet, and that will continue into round 7. Night Take, it's prime positioning into lower.
Oh, this boost over on Cat's going to be so lethal. Ninjas is going to find the one lower. Shot's not connecting for Woody. It may just to do a bit of damage, but that's a full fall back from Cat. K-Sock's getting he's getting interested. He wants to get into this fire. He wants to get into this fight. On the other side of the smoke, Ninjas is right next to him. Can hear all of this. 21 health, doesn't want to shoot.
Wait, but the entry up B with Yop? This is getting to be a problem. This may get a little bit crazy towards B. Oh, but this smoke is the opportunity that K-Slots briefly wishes he took a little bit more time to consider. Had a lane up to that fight to the op. But right now, even after this dramatic drop of a round that ODDIK have into their pocket, I think that's where they are going to keep it. Excuse me. Why risk these 3 guns? This is the B side, and honestly, right, we play on that cliche. It is one of the hardest sites in this game to retake. Why waste the resources? It's Swingers, though, that, I mean, we'll put them on notice. Apples, they got 5 rounds on this Dust 2.
5 more rounds, and it would be at 0. I don't know where I was going with that, but at the end of the half on Nuke, they were 5 rounds. ODDIK having 7, and it looks like the shoe's on the other foot now. ODDIK having to pick up the pieces from what Swingers is leaving behind. Weird buy for this. Nati is going to be able to get a rifle. Limited utility. They are investing everything into this. This looks like another rainy day for Swingers.
There's got to be an opening in the cloud, maybe an opening towards middle, with Des running it up with the AWP. Had a long spawn, but tried to go further into middle. Naite, he's alive, but for how long? Gets a second kill, and right now keeping it all on par for Woody to step in and give you the pat on the back. That's the win fight won by ODDIK in middle, and they are just going to be walking away with 3 advantages, rather 2.
What a push there from Nati. Molly is trying to just get an entry on over to this B site. Molly gonna stop him, but mechanically, like, just defending against all of those flashbangs and still able to reset yourself perfectly to get 2 kills there and set Woody up for another one as well is so important for ODDIK. And just now starting to get into the swing of these things. ODDIK looking very good. Ninjas and Malby not really knowing what to do here. They have no map control, nothing. ODDIK have shut down every spot that they could just with those 3 kills in mid.
We can get maybe just a little bit further down towards this B side. Okay, with 30 seconds left, I was wondering if they were going to fully consider maybe just one more B crawl. I think considering the bank accounts is more of the main idea behind this. It's ODDIK. We're going to push themselves up to 3, and I like exactly how you suggested that. Swingers certainly are going to put on notice right now. Apples, would you say that ODDIK is right up to snuff? They have these guns up now. Are we going to see the second op when they can afford it?
Maybe. Yes. Correct. I mean, I'm really liking the aggression. I don't think they're going to be able to do that again. They're going to start mauling mid. They're going to start nading mid like they have been in the last couple rounds.
You already got it up once. How often do you see that double op? So I feel like you're correct on that manner. And honestly, with Naite fighting the way that he just did, they've always been interested in either sending him up, getting that cat boost up onto lower. They've been very interested in deciding these rounds early, sending both of the dogs to just walk each other out middle, the buddy system in play, and Naite is the aggressive of the bunch. But Woody gets that only through upper. I thought we were fighting in mid early. Turns out we are, and Naite takes an awaiting rain that doesn't know it rather hit him.
Ninja's just hiding behind that box, not wanting to give out his position, and Matios and everyone else getting just so aggressive. Swingers are pushing out one by one. He's left alone, AWP in hand. You can't save for an entire minute here.
Oh my gosh. All 5 out alive from this. I mean, ODDIK are putting up a pretty crazy turnaround of the half right here where, I mean, Swingers, they get into this. It's 5 rounds, beginning of the T side. You think that this is maybe the foundation they need to, you know, put up a 1-1 in the overall score count tonight, where you can lean into the second half with a little bit more confidence, right? Even ODDIK know it so well. They were just tasting an 8-4, but it was ripped away right at the end of that first half. Swingers knowing that they have a little bit more room to breathe, Apples. They sign in with a timeout here, but They've actually already used a couple on this dust, too. Getting a little bit hairy here early.
Glorp. I was told to glorp. But no, I completely agree with
it's
you.
a similar motion. No, I hear
glorp.
that fear
That's how
coming from the swingers.
That's how they're feeling. And I feel like they've been playing so much slower than they have been. And obviously, we talked about this in the pregame. It is a completely different map, completely different play style. But they have been forced to be as slow as they can. And ODDIK have been really taking advantage of that. What entry is able to find another one, but they just fall out of the fray very slowly. Nazi, ooh, does get touched by the Molly. 3 Ts are now looking at this location. Been left alone. Just a deal. Swingers are looking for something else. Oh, a messy spray. Pink down to 22 health. That's not something you want from a AK versus a Glock.
No, it's not. But
well, they're teasing them.
It feels like there isn't just like... I know it's Dust 2, and I know we just came off a Nuke where it's very plausible to pop into a site, maybe get a kill or two on the flip of the P250 that you just bought up. And it's really easy to get a bomb plant here. However, swingers, they are more than just considerate of these mid fights. Hold on, we got the young gun up for a couple of frags himself, just taking away the easy ones. Look, they all add up to damage at the end of the day, so we're not going to consider any of the eco hunting as our player to watch picks up a 4K here as ODDIK are just going to be bringing us back to a tied contest.
Eco frags are still frags. I've always said that.
They're my favorite kind of frags.
And it feels like swingers, they don't have a plan when they go in for pistols. They're just looking to do as much damage as they can, but they're not doing it in a way that feels all team cohesive. When on the flip side, when ODDIK has a pistol, they have a flash. They have dualies on one of the players. They have something else, but that is an entry to talk about. Ninja's just running today, able to take the... Yeah. Oh, they're slowing down.
It seemed like they had that consideration, but... You know what, maybe the brakes are going to be good to press on at some point. Woody just puts another tar into the distance here. K-Slots just had a 4K in the last round. He gets nothing out of it. But Matios gets a frag right now. Has to defend this A site with 3 players trying to bite at him. They are just going to be ripping him apart limb by limb. And similarly to this A site, Rainy to get the bomb down. And for the first time in at least 4 rounds, swingers are coming in with some serious moxie. They should have this one in 6 about it.
Yeah, ODDIK not even going to think about retaking. Woody just looking to at least get maybe someone a little bit closer to the site. Oh, that's a huge nade onto Desh. He's keeping them here. Just do a bit of damage to their economy, not letting them save if someone dies to bomb. Oh, Pink able to pick up 1 over near long. That's still keeping them near. Just gonna have to re-buy armor at the end of the day for some of the players here.
Just gonna be all good considering, I mean, because Slots has got like $12,000 here. There may be consideration for that second AWP. Yeah, you do get exactly that.
Okay.
But it just seems like Night hasn't been... I'm interested in it too, but it doesn't seem like Night has been super effective on it. I think that the presence is very valuable, considering they have the retake M4. If he needs to swap, he can.
Might as well buy everything that you can. Money's not going to be going on to the other side.
Oof.
Oh, and that's the op out. Mobby with another nice entry here. Flashes are going to be taken on over to the CT side just to keep them at bay. A nice smoke to keep them away as well.
Oh my gosh.
K-Slots picked up the AWP.
That's a great find that he gets. And out of the op as well, when would you picture that to be in the man's hands? Panky's going to be running through, disrespects everything, and now swingers, they have something about this. How does Rainy get this kill back? Could still find more being in a very important spot here towards Gar.
Oh, that nade, if it just landed somewhere else, he would have been out of the round, but he's still looking to do some damage here. Desh going to take care of another player. Matios, 0 kills so far. Could find another one. He finds the first one. Rest of the T's, they're running away. They're getting the bomb over towards B. He is left alone. Does have a kit, but he's going to have to rotate. You can see Desh is just holding the spot in mid. It's going to be a very dangerous place to cross.
You should be expecting this up from
aware.
Cat. No way! The first batch
No
of kills.
way.
Apples, is he really on for a clutch? The answer is yes. A 1v3 and a 1v1 he's going to have planted on this bomb site. But is the bomb even going to go down first? Malby takes a confident approach. He's on that second step. Matios will have a timing here. He's not going to be seen up from that original look. No shadow or anything. So Malby on the way back down is going to have to be so precise. We go to a 7-5 again, but in those fashions, it's unbelievable. We're going to need a minute to reset. We're going to need a minute to breathe over here. Actually, 3 minutes. We'll get a halftime coming off of the 7-5 half. Swingers with the advantage this time. Well, look, Apples in many stories, our protagonists ended the way they started, but there's always some bumps along that path. The Swingers, they found that out in our first half. It was ODDIK that almost bit all the way back, but Swingers, they want to make this 1-1. They're gonna have to take this second half pistol, just like they did on Nuke.
Absolutely. Absolutely. A nice smoke in mid. Another one to cancel out any CT crossing. They're going B. Malby pushing in towards Matios here. They're just keeping them interested. A nice headshot, and that is a B site cleaned up. Ninja's at least able to pick one up, but Still a 3v4 retake on B side. You have so many angles to clear, so many players to take care of. He's taking it slow.
I don't even think you have a kid. No.
Oh, what a swing. Pink with a double.
Baby Pink with the triple. He's so close and he will do it. This guy has been on an absolute bender tonight and is not looking to stop anytime soon. That's going to be very dangerous if Pink is going to be the one, the MVP of our first map, need I remind you all, starting off hot in the second half.
Now you got the Glock. Got the Glock. Yeah, something you can shoot with and a bomb plant. 2 MAC-10s on the side of ODDIK, and it looks like Swingers are going to try and force into this one. Dash is going to be sporting, taken out
Both of those work.
Sprouting, sporting. Oh my gosh, early damage, but Pink once again with a double entry down to 15 health, but he did everything he needed for his team. 2 players still here from Swingers is trying to throw some shots. I think that's Vinna in the smoke. Just waiting away.
Having to put on notice exactly the successes they've had so far. There's just so much damage here. Can't get more before that deagle goes down. But here it's the scope that's going to draw the line for Dash Monster. It was ODDIK that shut down that second round over on Nuke. Not going to be happening again in the same circumstances. Never went awry. Swingers last alive with a MAC-10, and we'll see how long his life is, even if he is placed on short.
He wants to make some money. He picked up this MAC-10 with 1 deagle kill, so if anyone pushes him, he'll be able to make some spots ahead. They're walking away. K-Sox does not want to get into this mess, or at least not from there. Longest save in all of history.
What does our guy have right there? Down on his body. I would assume that's where he found the MAC-10, rather. That whole
he got a kill.
Right,
So he picked one up.
that entire margin for 40 seconds out for 1 SMG is not gonna feel that great. But in a round where I'm expecting, maybe the Swingers to go ahead and get Kevlar and 5.7 a deagle, whatever you want to put on top of it. I think a MAC-10 inherited over. Rather, I think he dropped that 5.7 over to Vinabeast, ready to give it over. Actually, it's a Desh with the 5.7, because I have to be precise.
MAC-10 and a kit as well. The flashes are going out towards long. Hold that MAC-10 already making use. That's an entry and a half. That's also a weapon picked up for his teammate.
Putting
so
middle
quickly
on the menu. Which will they order? It's B up first, and okay, they're getting the entire course, rather. The P250 trying to get a little bit more heat. Okay, whipped right out of the Pan-Apples, though. Raining long range. That'll get a couple sparks for it. While we joking this time, very winnable clutch you have your hands on to.
Yeah, Nazi at 5 health. Just like a stray bullet would take him down, especially with the Galil. But a smoke's going to slow it down, and another smoke for door is going to kind of take a lot of the possibilities out of this. Does have a kit, but he is taking his time with these corners right now. Doesn't want to get caught out. Maybe even just picking up an AK would be good for him. Another smoke.
Why are they so far? Trying to check upper. We get that. Sneak around the corner. This could be dangerous. He's all the way in upper apples. Oh, but just trying to check on maybe getting an exit fight out of it. All good. The drape is closed upon that round. Swingers don't want to go in too far. Because honestly, this Galil will be worth its weight amongst the rest. If you want to try and maybe get into a rebuy in the AWP eventually.
Eventually. And now, actually, Dash is going to be able to get that dropped over towards him.
This is about the time that I feel like on the Nuke Apples, we were seeing ODDIK step it up. Get in and clear a couple really good rounds in a row. I feel like in the consideration that this Dust 2 currently stands, there's as much opportunity for Swingers to do the same thing. And it could be here on long. It's a clean first fight, but so awkward up this way. And Matios, he clears it out. He'll take it anyway. He gets it.
flash blinding both of those kills. Not going to slow him down here. They have this control, but they're still down a player. No cat control. Dash is going to go and look for that. Beast is going to just utilize his util here. Just going to keep them at bay for the time being. Smolly on the side. Not going to connect with anyone. They're all lower. Dash just got to peek sooner rather than later. A hefty nade's going to drop them down. Okay, just straight out of the smoke. Matio's able to find that. Maybe a second one, but Dash is there. Oh, Malby. It's this picked up Khalil that's been doing a lot. Now has upgraded over to an 8K. Woody's holding him down. Hank left alone. But Wood's able to take care of it.
That was the most improbable way of actually clearing out the dust of those corners. It was Matios that got 2 of those completely blind, finds that second in transition, jumping through the air like a bunny rabbit. And ODDIK, they hop their way across that line. They have a difference of 2 now. That's exactly what we just served up, where ODDIK get a clean victory. We were able to just distance the line like that. Seeing the 15K in the bank accounts, but also acknowledging the little bit of save. You have the opportunity to go, buy up a scope again. But what good is it if it's just knocked out of the hands anyhow?
Nice picked up by a teammate. We haven't really seen Rainy too much with the op for double op here. And oh, a missed shot. Rainy's going to be able to grab a 1. Matias picks up on the missed shot there from Woody. And all the CTs, they're just hanging around this A site. They could very easily smoke this and make their way on over to B. They have one player already situated over towards long doors just to keep that away. But how long is K-Slox going to be able to hold that down for the rest of his team? I think once the information's pushed over, that's going to be straight on to B site for ODDIK.
They're just waiting for a hint, right? They're waiting for a clue. K-Slots fades away. And now Beast will have nothing to clear, nothing to do. But the rest of these SMGs for the Swingers, with the decision you align to make, have a little bit less choice than I think originally considered to themselves. Beast clears, good upgrade. Now you get out.
K-Slug still kind of doing his job there, though. Able to just keep them at bay, keep that presence known. I think from the start of the bomb plant, the start of them running away from Long, or at least Cat, made ODDIK have this round in their pocket, in the bank. We find double digits. First to find double digits in both of these games. Swingers with it. Ooh, go ahead. My bad.
And in similar fashion, I think so too. I mean, it's kind of eerie in that sense, but with the VRS up for what it is, Apples, imagine how painful it is to put up like a pretty respectable effort on both of these maps. And right, you acknowledge that along one of these strains, they maybe lose it, but I mean, that's still, you get no points for making it close, right? It's all or nothing. And in these best of ones, that's where you feel the pain.
Pain reference?
We're here in South America, you know. They've been doing pretty good, man. I mean, they've grinded through Challenger League themselves, right? I mean, we were just watching a couple of those teams. A couple of our North Americans will shout out. We're pretty good trash talkers for rather the scores. Naite, though, that is going to have a statement alongside it. That's a big opener towards A, and one of the most confident they've had in a couple of rounds against these rifles.
Absolutely. Smoke gonna keep the CTs at bay, and Molly on over to the B site just to kind of shut this down. ODDIK have a little bit of some fighting they had to do on this B site. Dash boosts it up, does walk away for the flash. Nice first shot open for Haystocks, and Pink is gonna follow it up. Nati gonna fall down. Ooh. Ninjas is gonna be able to get away just with 15 health, and I think Swingers once again gonna go for a save.
And once again, it's the language that I kind of want to hone in on there. It seems like in similar fashion, right? You kind of trim them down, see where the fat is around that A side, and kind of clip some of it to, I mean, eventually 2 times in a row, have a clean finish into the end of that B side. You even consider why ODDIK right at this point. We're looking for a clean play. Wanting to survive all the way to the end of this game. It just can be really such a hard line to ride. And now Matios is just going to be so loud in a play like this. Literally put the smoke down. I mean, what do you even do? Matios might go for the spam. That wasn't even the player that put down the smoke. It's just a nightmare fuel. You turn down every corner. That's what you will see.
They're going for it. They want this game over. They want this win, and it's within their grasp. If they just keep playing the same way they have, Swingers not rotating quickly on time to be able to make a retake really even possible, probable on any of these rounds that it could have been close. Well, that's a missed shot from Wood, but that's a lot of information. Nati getting up close and personal. It's not going to work out for now. Desh and Malby have mid on lock.
And Woody's not done with this. He can just feel Desh, some of his presence lurking around. But ODDIK have an entire minute and 30 in order to ride this course all the way up to where 12 is going to be pretty damn important. Night, or rather Rainy is going to be right outside of this, and it'll be a nightly check right back into it. And it could have been 2 off of the security guard, but he's gone down with the keys in hand.
Now just going to have to figure out the game plan from here. Swinger is kind of focused over on Matios here, just crawling up Cat. Ninja's looking for this kill. He's going to be able to peek him, sees his elbow, but the kills Matios is traded out. I'll be getting out very quickly, and the bomb's going to be able to get planted. They have completely rotated on over. The only person that's close is Venabeast, and he's over in CT smoked out.
Bomb going to go down on the low HPK slot, so if we are to go right at the hand of it, it would be poetic for the author of this map to put up a 1v3 clutch, practically. It's been through Woody's lane this whole time. You would expect it to go. Having to separate it from that, it's 8 you're going to be rewarded with, and 2 between Desh and Malby. A great effort. They're going to have a really good buy in the next as well. I mean, double ops,
yeah.
Rainy and Ninja's both going to get a drop. I wouldn't be surprised if there
Who's
was...
gonna get the op?
I don't want to say a second heart into Dust 2, because it feels like we've had a lot of these kind of whiplash scenarios, but this seems to be up for a little bit of consideration after what we are looking to go into a technical pause here for. Womp womp.
Womp womp.
Everybody gets a chance to breathe. Actually, besides the 2 lines of CX1 and XP, you don't get to sound in the 2 coaches, obviously, from this lineup. Don't get to talk during the technical pause.
Nope. Gotta stay quiet. We can hear you if you're talking.
Hey, follow the rules. Hey, you.
Heads down. Heads down. Read your books.
That would be something. That would be something.
You think they do that over?
Because I even
League
heard,
or on stage.
It's funny you bring that up, right? At the Pro League, shout out Exner and Darth Mike that were on the game. I think it was M80 Fnatic. They had to shut down the game and go to the bathrooms. I remember hearing things on Reddit. People are like, "There's no way they're not discussing game or strategy." One stall over from the next.
They probably had some an admin go into the restroom with them, if I'm being real, that's listening, which is weird, which is strange, I will say, but they probably had things in contention there.
Oh, if we were playing each other apples and I heard you chatting in the hallway, I would be letting them know, trying to punish you like Venabeast. Can't be letting that one go. Not on me, not today. Swingers though, they're going to have a lot more honest of an effort on the way back up. They can't just pull the guard and come back. It would take a really big slip here, but it seems like a timing has been slipped. There's Night getting off with that door kill. Might get the second and does as well. Rather, it's through the lane of Matios.
The timing is off. The sandwiching was there, and Woody's on the other side of the map taking care of the rotators.
Wow.
Oh, wow. It's just... You're focusing on too many things at once because you just can't look at two angles at once. Obviously, Beast was able to get that opener over in mid looking down, but he was also concerned about any player coming in through tunnels. He was sandwiched between there, and then his teammate getting dropped down. 3 players looking at you. That's the B defense completely gone. So really, really well done for ODDIK.
I mean, say goodbye to that money as well. Considered maybe a second hint in to the CT side. Yeah, you're not going to be seeing that. There should be ODDIK putting the first map on wraps. Honestly, I hope I like caster curse us or something even into a more improbable situation. But, you know, this is all the makings of ending at a 13-9 stance, Apples. And, you know, after our first look tonight, I wouldn't really consider that to be an upset. It sort of seems like you've had ODDIK separate themselves away from the rest of the pack once again, and for good reason. I mean, they certainly have earned this chip. Oh, okay. I have an update from, I'm not going to say the B stream, but I believe the Red Candids have put a 13-8 on Ancient over the Stars.
Oh, that's I just say that's a lot closer than I thought it was going to be.
I agree. Obviously, we know the Stars have had okay. I thought I was being dyslexic for a moment. I thought 13-8. I thought 13-0. I thought the 13-0 was actually the 13-8 on map 2.
Wait, so
they unfortunately got 13-0. Okay.
Okay.
Happens.
How did you envision an O with a belt?
I was hoping for the best. You never want to see a 13-0, but you want to see success off a swing like this. And boy, when it rains, it pours. It's a rainy with a double.
Oh, and he's able to get away from that. Matios and K-Slugs not able to answer back anything. The CTs have completely fallen away. They're back into their smokes. They're back into safety. Rainy has no damage on them. Matios looking for something. Kind of saw someone through the smoke, but nothing easy. Molly is going to get him off the angle. Oh, wow. What a flash. What a slow first start to this game. But Swingers, they're not going down without a fight.
They're going to have a very big buy into the next ODDIK if they can't make a clutch about this. It's going to take that. Matios, he should be separated from the cat peak, but K-Slots with the collateral. That could have got fishy. It certainly did see a fin up the way.
He wanted to get Rainy so bad. He knew there was a player there. Wasn't even looking towards Cat. Teammate had it on lock. He's able to get a collateral, but just the swing out was not in their favor. Good job, Rainy. Good job.
It could have only taken a just ridiculous play like that. Flashing through the smoke, hits perfectly onto the transfer, straight out of the picture book. That one is beautiful. Not nearly as flashy as the boost you just saw presented, but, I mean, almost dealt with as easily.
Ooh, it's a miss, Molly. Unfortunate. It was actually missed. It did slow down ODDIK in mid just for a little bit.
All right, what boost we got in the cabinet now?
I don't know. They're trying
How
to
many
figure this
boosts
out.
can we have off of this rope position in one take? For Desh, it's so far just the 2.
I don't even think that Molly gets them off the angle. That does give them a little bit less of a sight line, though. These two buds are just hopping around a site.
On the ramp, I was like about to scream. This is much more reasonable of an angle he picks up. But maybe about to pick up the pace from Cat. Are they hitting this right now? It seems like a couple players tease. Bomb still in middle.
Looks like it's a default just to see how many players they can thin out or just get information. Rainy through the smoke. That's a headshot. Macio's gonna get, or wow, that's a
really
huge
tough.
fine. That is a huge fine. K-Slogs left alone. So the B site, no control of the bomb. Flashes are raining over.
No op for a collateral either. I think we're going to 23. Not the way I expected to. Not the way I expected to. I'll tell you when I'm wrong. But I think K-Slots is right to just try and be pretty fearful of the corner. Saw a very ippy-tippy of the barrel, and now you're going to be seeing double digits on the board coming from the swinging side.
They're swinging it back.
Just keep swinging.
Just keep swinging. Just keep swinging.
I almost said that Dora said that, and then oh man, could you imagine? Could you imagine if I said, when Dora sang this in Nemo?
Hey,
just
what?
keep swinging. You know my IGL
Dora?
and it's Dory.
Dory?
I know. I'm
Oh,
saying,
okay,
wouldn't
okay,
it have
sorry,
been
I'm sorry.
funny? Because wouldn't
Were
it?
you about to?
I was 100% about to commit to it and then be like, where was Boots alongside? You would probably have, dude. Was was Boots a detective of some sorts? Because
No,
we're gonna
Boots
need
was
somebody
just a
on the
friend.
case right now.
I think Boots was just a pal.
You know, every good friend, Apples, that you if they need to, they're a detective for you every single time.
Yeah,
Even Apples.
I can detect.
What is this investigation by Rainey? More on that in a moment. Oh, good God!
What an entry!
That's pretty
is
fast,
something.
too.
Yeah, that's up cat. They're all just protecting the opera right now. Deagles and pistols in hand. This would be an incredible round to win if they're able to take care of it. Ninja's the only one really looking at this cat push. Rainy on the other end, looking over towards Long. He could rotate up pretty quickly. Just depends on how many people find him. And the Deagle reigns supreme for now. Oh, that's a tap. That's a kill. And pick up the ball. Get it planted.
That's a concern. It's a 4 versus 2 for it. And this does too. It take a couple of turns up the very twisty and windy path of this second best one we have had tonight. But Malby, he's headed in the same place he was always going to, right to the grave. It's a 13-10. And an even better effort that the Swingers put up on that second map. But you gotta go ahead and hit 13 if you want to take it all. And tonight, we can call it a 2-0 for ODDIK.
Absolutely. I mean, that last round, it's always the last round that makes me excited to American podcast, because this is just incredible from ODDIK. They're like, all right, let's force everything we can into this. Just do some pistols and some deagles, see if we can win this, and if not, we'll be able to buy into the next one. And you know what? They're able to take care of it. They were able to kind of make Sweet very, very concerned with this A site. They weren't rotating in time, though. They weren't able to defend it, and the Deagles reigned supreme. Woody was able to shine with the op, but it all fell down for Swingers. However, I really, really good effort for them in that first half. They came out 7-5 in the really T side. ODDIK were not really doing too well, but they were able to take it back. They were able to get that win, and now, yep, you can call it a 2-0.
You can absolutely write it down as that. But I will literally sing the praises you just came in with. I had not had the opportunity to see this Swingers team together. Had seen the name in the space. You know, we spoke about a lot of the other leagues, maybe qualifiers they, had to mention in. But they were pretty bold coming into ODDIK tonight. And I think that it's going to be ugly, kind of off that par. But not only on one of their most kind of questionable scenarios, they went head-to-head with them on Nuke. On one of their better Dust 2s, I think that there are a couple different stances to where you could see this go a little bit differently, right? We say this all the time. The Swingers could have potentially taken it, but the Swingers will continue to develop right now. But this is just the reason why ODDIK is going to be maybe just, right, I think they move up actually to maybe the 4th spot in Challenger League for this. But regardless, right, this is why they are wearing the cusp that they currently are as a dominant team.
Absolutely. That's why they take the name. That's why they take the wins. They're just so incredibly skilled with it. And while there were some rounds I was a little nervous about it looked really well. Let's take a look over ODDIK side. Let's take a look at the Cadet player to watch. How did he fare here? And oh, wow, 30 kills in total, still 24, but that is a pretty solid score line. We did see him pick up the op a little bit more on Dust 2. I feel like we said his name a bit more than we did over on Nuke. He was able to kind of step up for his team, and I liked what we saw here on this map.
Yeah, I was really happy that we considered giving, some good praise and a highlight to the young gun. A part of this project that, we need to remind everybody, right? He was benched on this ODDIK lineup for a while and, is just getting this way look in the back through. Sarah Utera was not the replacement that, they had originally considered him to be, but you know, it's not a disastrous rating, right? This guy doesn't really post those. He posts up and he does his job well, which here tonight, you know, playing along the stars of which he was currently popping off, I would say Woldy and Pank kind of, you know, within that same realm, putting on star performances and also dealing with the heat back. You can give yourself a pat on the back tonight.
Absolutely, 100%. It's a team effort. Not everyone has to be in the spotlight to be able to get a team win, and that's exactly what K-Slox was able to do for the rest of his squad. And I feel like even on the other side, we saw Deshmaster doing a lot on Nuke, but kind of falling flat, I would say, on the second map. He was not able to get the op entries as much as we'd prefer him to, especially on their T side and on CT side. It didn't feel very conjoined on the side of Swingers. Obviously, ODDIK coming out on top with a lot more experience together as a team, a lot more protocols in place, and Dust 2 being their map of rain.
Well said. Well said. And I mean, I think that we all watched along. I mean, the aforementioned, Red Candid Stars series that was going along that ended up leading into the 2-0 over there. And I mean, great scenes over here in South America tonight. Some wonderful games, and we were absolutely loving joining you. I was get the bag, Mark. This is, of course, Apples over here. But Apples, I don't mean to spoil the script, but we're not done. Tonight we've got some great Counter-Strike, and me and you get to go a little bit closer to home, so stay on this line. We have a North American Challenger League happening right after this, but we're not going to spoil all the fun yet. We're just going to send you to the tune, and that's going to be it. So outdone out of South America today. I hope you all enjoyed it and had as much fun as we did here, but the party's not done yet. We got more Counter-Strike action just over the break, so don't go very far.
Think you've seen it all? With FACEIT Watch's Point of View Selector, you can experience the game from any pro's perspective. Use the multi-view feature and customize the stream with up to 4 angles. Control what points you see while earning rewards. Drops are activated and lucky winners will receive FACEIT points. And if you ever miss a match, VODs are now available. Get instant access to demos with multiple POVs and commentary. Watch it, control it, FACEIT.
Damn, guys, we almost had this.
Thank God it's over.
Bored of endless matchmaking? Take your first step towards ECL, experiencing real strategies against teams of your skill. Learn more at fce.gg/ECL.